What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rewind Theater for IGN's April Fool's Day prank. Optimus Prime in Titanfall. Yes, this is what it's come to. The navel gazing that we rewind the own content we create. We are officially having a salute. And, well, I'm Greg Miller, alongside the two guys who made this with their bare hands. Mike Horn.
Hey, guys.
Hey, and Matt Gravish.
Hi.
Mike and Matt, what do you do here? What would you say you do here on a daily basis? Like, we don't have a real CG team. It's not like you're running around creating original creations all day long like this.
No, so I do motion graphics and design for the site, mostly for the videos. So, like, well, these kind of things,
sure,
these special one-offs.
But like, you know, like a normal day for you would be like animating like something that says top 5 coming at the screen and turning,
sure,
right? Or
yeah.
like when you're watching, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching like E3 and we have like the swirling controllers and all that stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And then Horn, what do you do?
Mostly just editing, and I kind of see myself as Matt's apprentice.
Oh, okay.
When
like
I
a sorcerer's
try,
apprentice?
exactly.
Okay.
So he does all this CG wizardry, and I'm slowly picking up little bits from him for each project, but I really don't know it, and I always forget it because it's like 6 months in between a big video like this that we do where
sure,
I get to get my hands into it, and then I always forget all the tools and techniques to make it.
And you have to ask him a million questions that you know you've already asked, but you have to do them all over again.
Exactly.
So I guess there's so much we want to talk about. Let's talk about, I mean, like, obviously, this is a fake trailer. This was our April Fool's Day prank. IGN does one every time. We've thank God we've moved away from, I think, when we used to try to make people believe. You know what I mean? When we do that, we're like, oh, no, it's totally real. We put it in the fix or something. Like, clearly this is a joke. Optimus Prime not really coming to Titanfall.
Right.
A lot of shout-outs to people who worked on the project before we get into the nitty-gritty, like what you guys did, right? Idea, Brian Altano. You know, we did an April Fool's Day meeting. Brian Altano actually phoned in this request through me that this is what he thought would be a good one. We all loved it, went with it. The voice you hear in the beginning is Troy Baker, of course. The Joker in Batman Arkham Origins, probably more known as Joel in Last of Us. Then Optimus Prime is actually Dave Fennoy, Lee Everett from Walking Dead, also the Hulu guy, also a big Up at Noon proponent.
Yeah. I looked him up. He actually did
DaveFennoy.com.
Transformers voices, too.
Huh?
In
Oh,
an
he
old
actually
game,
did real Transformers
He
voices?
has done this before, yeah.
Gosh darn it. Dave Fennoy does everything. That's the problem. You get Troy and Dave in something, they're doing everything. So then, I guess when we're watching stuff like this, what did each of you do? So, Grav, did you make Optimus from hand, from nothing?
Yeah, well, there were bits and pieces of it out there, but I made them the head and the chest cavity all with my own 2 hands in Cinema 4D. And yeah, we set it up in a rigging environment so we can move his arms and legs around.
Sure.
Yeah. So we did all the animation by hand.
Okay.
And
so, like,
compositing.
is this shot here complete? I don't remember. Is this all your creation?
Yeah. The background is an image from one of the Titanfall trailers. I just pulled a frame.
Okay.
And added a bunch of smoke, made this whole kind of like 3D arc to the image in the back so that when you move the camera down and when you pan it down,
it moves like that.
It's not just like an empty black space where there's nothing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Spherized.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Oh yeah.
No, you're making that up.
And then we added a bunch of lens flares because Transformers.
Sure, Michael Bay.
You can't really not have lens flares.
In fact, I just want to make a comment on that.
Sure.
The plugin that creates those lens flares, I'm not positive about this, but I'm pretty sure it came out of the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie.
Okay.
They created this tool for the purpose of just adding those gazillions of lens flares, and now anybody can go and buy it. I think it's like $100.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we do that, or did you just open us up for a lawsuit?
No, we bought it. We bought it.
We've been using it for years.
All right. So then, Horn, where are you coming in? Like, Grav creates the Optimus here.
So we also have to give credit to Patrick Coughlin, one of our senior video editor here. He did the initial edit, but was gone for the rest of the week, so I took over. But he chose the music, he laid out the structure, and then I went in and I basically went through all the trailers that I could find, and all of the footage that looked like there was an open spot where we can insert Prime.
Sure.
And so I went through, made selects, and on a few of these, if you keep going forward, right there, that shot.
Yeah.
There was actually a Spectre robot where Prime is standing.
Okay.
So I probably spent like 2 hours or 3 hours because I'm not as good as Matt erasing the Spectre robot.
Gotcha.
And then I would provide him all these plates and do a little cleanup.
Okay.
And then he would do most of the CG. And then a few of the shots after Matt taught me how to do some animation and some compositing, I did myself. So I did the cloaking shots. I think it was like 3 or 4 easy shots that I did, and I just reused
these guys here.
Yeah. So that took me an hour just to try to figure out how to make Prime's sidestep there, and that was actually last night at like 9 p.m. And
good,
I couldn't. It still looks kind of wonky, but we ran out of time. So
yeah,
I think it looks fun.
It's good.
Our next perfectionists.
The next evolution for IGN video would be us figuring out how to do motion capture. You know, like you might see for
Put
Last
me in a
of
ping pong
Us.
ball suit.
Exactly.
Right.
So we actually heard that you can hack a Kinect, or at least a Xbox 360 Kinect. People have done this before, and do like a poor man's motion capture.
Sure.
And that way you could just basically videotape a person doing all the motion themselves and apply it to a 3D model instead of having to animate it by hand.
Yeah, that's what we need around here. For the one time every year we do something like this, we need that.
I think it's a good investment. We could have saved ourselves tens of hours.
Tens of hours.
I mean, we must have a closet full of old Kinects that aren't doing anything.
Sure, that's true. There are a lot of Kinects sitting around here that aren't getting loved. Tell me about this shot. So how hard was it to create this 2 seconds that is one of the best looking things in the thing?
So this actually wasn't even the hardest shot we had. The first part I did was the wide shot where you see, right here with the pilot getting pulled in. And it wasn't until I would say 10 p.m. on like a Saturday or Friday after I'd finished doing this shot that I thought, I've got this animation done. I can just attach a camera to the guy's head and we could get this cool point of view shot.
Oh, so this is the same everything.
It's the same animation, same whole, like the same scene setup and everything.
Gotcha.
I just took a little camera and popped it on his head.
So when you created Optimus's chest, like you were talking earlier, in his head, did you have to like make the inside of the chest too like this, or was this like, I can do that, and you just tossed in what looks to be some smoke in a chair?
Yeah, exactly. That's not even a chair. It's just kind of like some random piece of geometry. But
gotcha. But it looks like
I did some creative lighting and put some like red and blue ones in there so you can't see the front of the chair. It just looks like a big black kind of hole.
Right.
I don't think those are lights. I think that's his heart.
Oh yeah,
his glowing robot heart. And if you and Greg, if you scroll back, I love how just that shot, how he kind of like, he's like a father.
Brian,
like fatherly picks up
the pilot. Totally
pilot.
Looks like a kid the way he puts his hands up.
He's like, let me take you to my heart.
And then, at what point in the process did you guys come up and know you wanted this shot from inside? That when you were inside the Titan, it needed to look like you were looking through the big Mack truck windows, and then have the Autobot logo. You look a little bit further, like Damage Core is coming online over there now. But when you go a little bit further, you have the different outline for your Titan.
Well, I think I know I was pushing for this, but what I'm disappointed though. Matt didn't oblige me in animating one of the windshield wipers.
That was what I really wanted from the beginning. So at least to get the wipers in there.
In the supercut of this trailer, I'm sure that's where you'll go and put that in there.
Well, the original plan was to have a Titan punch explode a pilot into that red mist, and then it would be like blood splatter on the windshield. And then you'd have to use the wiper to wipe it off. But we are trying to keep it PG-13.
Sure. So then, I guess for me, like, this is your guys' job. You know what you're doing when you're getting in there. But like when we walked out of that room, we're like, all right, we're gonna do this Titanfall Optimus Prime thing. Like, was there ever a moment of you just going like, like, how are we gonna do that? Or did you just from the get go like, this will be easy?
Well, I came back from vacation with 2 weeks until April 1st, and then I was told we were doing this. So I was like, I guess we're going to figure out some way. The idea was to have like this mashup of existing trailers and then choose like 2 or 3 key shots of Optimus.
Yeah.
And then as we got going, it was just like, let's do every shot.
Let's try to be cool. What about you, Horn? Were you from the get-go thinking it was going to be okay?
I didn't think it would be possible.
Yeah.
I've just been blown away with what Matt's been able to do. Every day he would just keep blowing my mind with and even when he did after he created Optimus Prime from scratch, it looked like throughout the day you'd see him actually like building out a finger and a bolt.
Yeah.
even after he did that, I still didn't think that we would be able to get through all these shots
as fast as you did, as quickly as you did.
Yeah, and even still, there's a lot of problems. We would have liked to have made it better, but we didn't have enough time.
Well, that one shot of him carrying the axe, walking all the times around the corner, still kind of like makes me cringe. I wish I could have spent more time on it, but
this one here.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I mean, it definitely gets a laugh though, because I don't think anybody's expecting it. You know what I mean? Like when we all watched it, that was the thing where we were like, "Oh my god!"
Well, that was my favorite idea of like all these Titans have these huge chain guns and like rocket launchers and everything. Why wouldn't he just have like a big axe and just be like a badass?
It's because he's Optimus Prime, bruh.
And we ran out of time, but I wanted to give him his ion blaster from the original cartoon. It's like his classic gun, and it came with the toy. And so I really wanted on the one of the last POV shots where you're inside Prime, I wanted to change the 40 millimeter to his ion blaster, but we ran out of time for that as well.
Gotcha.
Have it do like a laser beam shot.
So then how hard was this here? Because this is the part where it actually looks super transformery.
Yeah. So I had to actually just recreate the entire Titanfall logo sequence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just made it all from scratch pretty much.
Wow.
And then there's actually just a plugin that does this transforming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that makes it less cool.
It's pretty much just set 2 keyframes and
and it just does what you want.
It's like a little bit more complex than that, but not much more.
Nice.
It kind of does it all for you.
So then you made a reference to it earlier. What was the hardest shot? You said it wasn't. I thought it was going to be putting him in the chest. What's the actual hardest shot of this thing?
I think the one I spent the most time on was that first drop.
Oh, really?
So I did another iteration of it where it just looked a little different, had a different background, and rendering out all those little pieces of rock that he's landing on.
Yeah,
took quite a while. I would say it was the shot. Yeah, the first shot was the hardest.
Okay. Well, guys, what else haven't I asked you? What do you want to know as the creators of this trailer? What do you want to tell the world?
Oh man, it's a deep question.
Yeah, I asked the deep questions here.
Okay. I have something to say.
Okay.
Because I feel like nobody's talked about this, at least on IGN, is the influence of Neil Blomkamp and District 9 and Elysium in Titanfall.
Oh, you talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here, I'm just going to quickly list off a few things.
Give your theory on like
arc gun for the Titan. That's directly it's named the same thing in District 9.
Yeah.
Shoots out lightning bolts just the same way, explodes people and flesh just the same way. You have the Vortex Shield, which is also from the mech in District 9, where it catches bullets and he splays them back out at the enemy. You also have in District 9 the mech. It can do like multiple targets with its missile salvos, just like in on the Titans. Big thing is the IMC. They're South African. All their voices are South African, just like MNU in District 9.
Okay. You think it's the same universe?
It could be, although we don't see any prawns.
Yeah, well they've gone home.
Prawns.
All right, Grab. You got anything?
No, I think I'm just kind of like happy to have it out there and be done with it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now you can move back.
It's fun to read the comments. People have all sorts of opinions about the size of his head and the quality of the model.
Of course, big shout out to somebody we didn't mention when we were talking about it, Mike Pereira.
Oh yeah,
wrote all the lines of dialogue here for Dave and Troy, and then did this awesome stuff here at the end with the. I can't wait to download Prime Time.
So that was Nick Scarpino.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Wait. So then, is it this thing down
he came
here?
up with Prime Time.
Oh, okay.
We had some other title like Falling Tears or I don't know, something cheesy.
Yeah.
That also seems to be one of the jokes that everyone points out in the comments. Everyone's happy about that.
Yeah, the comments have been interesting, right? Like you're talking about, people point out his head.
I'm just glad that Linkin Park is like the running joke on the internet.
Of course. Well, they keep selling out and doing all these different things. I mean, good for them. I'd sell that too in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Rewind Theater for the Titanfall Optimus Prime April Fool's trailer from IGN. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thanks for making it.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yourselves.
Yeah, it was worth it.
It was fun.
Good.
We'll see you guys in a year, hopefully, with another April Fool's Rewind.
Yeah, sure. I hope we come up with a good idea. It's going to be hard to top this one. You guys got to think. Start thinking now.
I'll start thinking now.
Start processing. When we start making whatever you want to make now. So next time when we do the rewind, you're not sitting here going, you wish you had more time.
Half-Life 16 3D.
There you go. Now you're talking. Ladies and gentlemen, for whatever the real Titanfall DLC will be, keep it here on IGN.